In my previous video on Ravana, I had established that Ravanan was an Asivaka Siddha, providing ample proof. I was reserving one more argument, a direct one, to discuss when I take up the case of Indra. That occasion has come now as this video embarks on to establish the true identity of Indra. One of the sons of Ravana was Indrajit, the great warrior son, who played a curious role in the historical epic called Ramayana. I had mentioned in the video on Ravana that all the names of the prehistoric characters were not their actual proper names, and as a rule, they were either their title names or the names given by the ancient historians based on their special attributes when they narrated their history. Likewise, the Indrajit was also a deformed name from his original title name called Aindrasittan. I would explain how he got his title name later in the video, but I ask you now to observe the second part of his name, which explicitly says that he was a Siddha. Do you have any more doubt left that Ravanan, his father, was a Siddha himself? I shall establish in my next video that even Kumbhakarna, his paternal uncle, was also a great Siddha, contrary to the projections about him. There are two characters in Indian mythology who carry the name Indra. One is the Indra, the weather god, and the other is Indrajit, the warrior son of Ravana. One more curious observation is that both are related by a mythological anecdote, and in fact, that it is by that anecdote that Indrajit is alleged to have got his title name. As per the Aryan mythology, Indrajit fought a war with Indra and seems to have won over him. As Indrajit won over Indra, he was given a title Indrajit, which, according to the Indo-Aryan story spinners, shortened to Indrajit. I do not know how the world accepts such stupid manipulation of names. If Jit means victory, Indrajit would only mean victory of Indra, it would never mean victory over Indra. Pandya victory means victory of Pandya, not victory over Pandya. This is a fine example to show how the Indo-Aryans twisted even words, albeit unsuccessfully, in an effort to twist the Tamil history. If you study the full episode on Indrajit, it would be very obvious that this was fabricated by them to hide the truth about Indrajit and to falsely explain the associated historical fact with their lame story. According to their story, Indrajit defeated Indra and arrested and tied him to his celestial chariot. At this time, Brahma intervened on behalf of Indra and asked Indrajit to release him. Indrajit seemed to have obliged, and the pleased Brahma gave him a boon that Indrajit would be invincible as long as he performs yagna. He would also be given a celestial chariot after his yagna every time, which would make him invincible. Kindly listen to the remaining part of the Brahma's boon with attention. Brahma put a clause in that boon that Indrajit would be defeated if he enters a war without performing yagna, and yet another clause that he would be killed by the same people who disturbs his yagna. Wait a minute. Would anyone call this a boon, considering at least the second clause that he would be killed by the same people who disturbs his yagna? This could at best be called a prediction by Brahma rather than a boon by him to Indrajit. Actually, Vibhishana, one of his paternal uncles, becomes a traitor and reveals to Lakshmana that it was Indrajit's yagna that made him invincible. Hence, it takes Lakshmana to Indrajit's secret place of yagna and both of them kill the meditating unarmed Indrajit. That was what actually happened. One more gnarling flaw in the story is that if Indrajit could get his celestial chariot only after his yagna, following the boon from Brahma, then how the hell in the first place could the human Indrajit defeat Indra, the celestial god, which necessitated the boon in the first place? Indrajit could not have won over Indra, the celestial god, without a celestial chariot in the first place. Oh, the Indo-Aryans are very poor storytellers. A criminal would not always be able to explain the forensic trail successfully. They seem to have waited for my analytical skills to get caught red-handed. The truth is that Indrajit performed yagna on the goddess Nikumbala, and because of his yagna he got Aindram skills, and one of the Aindram skills, Lehimam, enabled Indrajit on celestial travel. The Brahma boon story should have been brought in by Indo-Aryans to hide the fact that Indra was the son of Ravana and the fact that Indra and Indrajit were one and the same person. Hence, Indrajit did not get his name defeating Indra, and the related Aryan mythology was to fool the people. Hence, we shall start a fresh search in identifying both Indra and Indrajit. We can start with the surmise that both the names Indra and Indrajit shall refer to the same person. The name Indra could have been a shortened version of the full name Indrajit, which actually deformed from Aindrasithan, as stated above. The basis of such a surmise arises from the observation that the other names of both Indra and Indrajit are also very similar. For instance, Indra is also called Megha while Indrajit is called Meghanathan. Hence, both are again related to Megham, meaning cloud in Tamil. Megham is a Tamil name evolved from two words, male plus aham, melaham, Megham. Male means upper or above, and aham means place or abode. Clouds are in the upper place where Indran is said to reside. Indran, being the weather god, his identification with the Megham is well understood. But Indrajit, the son of Ravana, being associated with the clouds, is an interesting fact which needs a closer study. The Indo-Aryans came with another lame story to explain the origin of the name Meghanathan of Indrajit. As per their cunning story, when Indrajit was born, his birth cry was like a thunder, and hence he was named Meghanatha. Let us assume that his birth cry was indeed thunderous. He would have then been named as Thunder only, definitely not as Meghanatha, even though thunder is originating from Megham. Hence, he should have been named Idi or Idinathan, meaning thunder or Lord of Thunder, and definitely not Meghanatha, meaning Lord of the Cloud. Hence, the thunderous birth cry story was another cunning interpretation of already existing name Meghanatha to hide the real and complete identity of Indrajit, the son of Ravana. Hence, Meghanathan was not a proper name, and it was another title name of Indrajit, and there should have been a reason why he was awarded this title, connecting him to the clouds. Like father, like son, Indrajit was also an Asivaka Siddha. However, unlike his father Ravanan, who mastered music, medicine, astronomy, political science, and even created astrology, Indrajit spent his time in deep meditation and mastered 5 skills named as Aindiram. Today, we know about Attama Siddhis, which are 8 kinds of paranormal spiritual powers obtained through yoga. In his times, about 7,000 years ago, only 5 Siddhis were known, which should have been called Panjama Siddhigal. Indrajit should have been the first Siddha to master all the 5 Siddhis, and hence he was called Aindrasiddhan, meaning the sage who mastered 5 Siddhis. The Tamil word for Aindiram means 5 skills. Aindu means 5 in Tamil, and Tiram means skill in Tamil. Aindu plus Tiram, Aindiram. Of the 5 skills he mastered, Lehimam, that is, making himself lighter, was a dramatic skill with which he was floating in the air. He used this skill to go above the clouds even. The proof of all this is evident in Ramayana, that Indrajit was attacking Rama and co from the skies, and he used deceptive warfare, appearing and disappearing and attacking from the unsuspecting directions from the sky. In peace times, Indrajit, with his dramatic Lehimam skill, went above the clouds and predicted the weather. Today, we are using satellites situated above the clouds to take picture of the clouds and predict the weather conditions including storms. Precisely because of this ability to float above the clouds and predict weather, he was called Meghanathan, as the clouds were seen to be under his control, as they seemed to follow his dictates. Hence, we realize now why he was awarded the title Meghanathan. Lehimam is a skill that brought him the title Meghanathan. However, Indrajit knew 4 other skills like Karimam, Animam, Mahimam, and Vyabhiyam. I do not know which exactly were the 5 skills he knew. The list I provided is only the tentative 5 among the 8 siddhis known today. But the fact of the matter is that he knew 5 skills, and that is why he was called Aindiran. As he achieved these skills through his siddha practices, he was aptly called Aindrasithan after his times. The title name Aindrasithan deformed to Indrajit over the period of time. Aindrasithan, Indrasithan, Indrasittu, Indrajit, Indrajit. I want to restate that he used the deceptive warfare with Rama and co, using his Indra skills, disappearing and reappearing, going above the clouds and attacking from the skies, etc. It is all well documented in Ramayana. Those parts of Ramayana were not imaginative, as it was wrongly understood by many. As per my new findings about Ravana's family and the confirmation of unmistakable prowess of Indrajit from various sources, Indrajit did perform miracles. We shall discuss about the spiritual aspect of Indra's skills again later in the video. We have seen from the above discussion that Indrajit was also related to Veda, as was Indra the Meghavahana. Hence, Indrajit and Indran were one and the same person, as Meghanathan and Meghavaganan were pointing to the same person as per our discussion. Just like Shiva is called both as Rishabhavahana and Rishabhanatha, where Rishabha was the bull, his Vahana, Indran was also called by two names, Meghanatha and Meghavahana, both related to Megham. This comparison would have asserted to you that both Meghanatha and Meghavahana were not different people, as it was venomously projected by the Indo-Aryans, to erase the fact that Indran was the son of Ravana. This is how the Indo-Aryans distorted every aspect of Tamil Asivagam, which they ruthlessly destroyed. It is time to remind you about what they did for Buddhism in India. One more basic fact to be reminded is that for Tamils, God means enlightened human beings. Ravanan and Indran were such enlightened human Siddha and hence worshipped as gods in the past. We have already proved that Indrajit was an Asivaga Siddha and his name also carries this info. As we are asserting that Indrajit and Indran are one and the same person, we have to prove independently that Indran is also an Asivaga Siddha. Indra's Vahana, the Airavatam, would help us prove that Indran was also an Asivaga Siddha. Airavatam is white elephant. Vadam here means hands, and the elephant is said to have 5 arms, that is, 4 legs and 1 trunk, all the 5 used to punish the offenders. Ra means black, I means 5 in Tamil. Hence, Airavatam originally meant 5 black arms, meaning an elephant. Why should elephant be assigned his Vahana? Elephant is the primary symbol of Asivagam, and as Indran was an accomplished Asivaga Siddha, he was given elephant as his Vahana to symbolically depict that he was a great Asivaga Siddha. How the black Airavatam became white elephant? It is simple. Since Indran was an enlightened Siddha, capable of performing miracles called Mayajal, his elephant Vahana was considered to be white to symbolize the advanced level of his Siddham. Thus we have established independently that Indra was an Asivaga Siddha, and hence both Indran and Indrajit were one and the same person. That means Indra was a human Siddha, and that is why he was given white elephant as his Vahana, which is considered to be a great award in Asivagam. Indran was the only Siddha offered with white elephant for his miraculous achievement as a Siddha. Indra's world is called Indra Lokam. It is the one hanging in the sky among the clouds, as we all know. Andaram is a Tamil word which means hanging without support. Hence, Indralokam is also called Andralokam. Andralokam danga Indralokam. Let us study the etymology of the word Andaram. The word Aindiram deforms in 2 different ways. If the letter A becomes silent, Aindiram is pronounced as Indiram. When the letter I becomes silent, Aindiram is pronounced as Andiram, that is Andaram. Hence, because of Indrajit, we got a new word called Andaram to Tamil. The fact that both Andaram and Indiran evolved from Aindiram, meaning Andarlogam and Indralogam are one and the same, does prove the fact that Aindrasiddhan was the original title name of Indrajit. When I narrated my findings about Ravanan and Indran to a well-wisher and a scholar, he raised an alarm that Ramayana was a fiction, the usual idea of atheists of India. Ramayana and Mahabharata might not be 100% true, but they are indeed the records of the specific and important incidents of the prehistoric ancient India. I only asked my well-wisher whether he believes in Thiruvalluvar. He said yes. Then I recited the verse, ஐந்தவித்தான் ஆற்றல் அகல் விசும்புலோர் கோமான் இந்திரனே சாலும் கரி. The meaning of the verse is as follows. If power of meditation is to be understood, the celestial king Indra would be the irrefutable proof. Thiruvalluvar addresses Indran as Indiran and also describes him as a sky god, and he says that he got his spectacular prowess through his meditative power controlling the five senses. Hence, according to Thiruvalluvar, Indran was originally a human Siddha. My senior friend was stunned. In fact, I told him that Thiruvalluvar did not mention Agathiyar, Ravanan, Bogar, Kalanginathar kind of hundreds of Siddhas of Tamil soil in Thirukural. But he mentions Indran, that too when referring to the powers of meditation. This proves that Indran did perform miracles. Thiruvalluvar, an Asivaka Siddha himself, starts his Thirukural praising Adinatha, the Siva, in the first verse. I had established in the video on Mariamman that Bhagavan is actually a deformed Tamil word referring to the sages, and hence Adi Bhagavan refers only to Adinatha, the Siva. Thiruvalluvar also mentions Vishnu indirectly when comparing the pleasure of love to that of Vaikundam, the paradise of Vishnu. Other than these two, Thiruvalluvar refers to Indran only in his works and when he wanted to prove the power of meditation. All these three Siddhas were worshipped as gods in his times. I also told my friend about Bodhidharma, who went to China to spread Zen Buddhism, a form of Buddhism which ratifies and teaches martial art as self-defense. He took karate of Tamil Nadu to China. Karam plus Atam, Kara Atam, Karatam, Karata, Karate, which was nothing but play with hands, a Tamil word. The important point is that the Chinese film on Bodhidharma states that he performed Attama Siddhis in Chinese soil. Why should Chinese people extol a Tamil unless it is true? Hence, Attama Siddhis were very real. Scientifically too, I shall justify the above statement. Compared to electric, magnetic and nuclear forces, which are classed as strong forces, gravitational force is a weak force. If you place a soft iron bar in any place, all the Earth's magnetic field lines around that place pass through this bar, leaving the surrounding place free of its magnetic field. If a passive metal could divert the strong field by its mere presence, the humans, with their spiritual and mental power, shall create an anti-gravity field in their body and hence might be able to float and move in space. It is a definite possibility, and Indrajit really achieved this feat. Moreover, Thiruvalluvar has not mentioned famed Siddhas like Agathiyar, Bogar, Ravanan, Kalanginathar in his treatise, but he mentioned Indran, that too in order to prove the real prowess of the power of meditation. Hence, the spiritual power is a reality, and we shall not listen to the stupid atheists anymore. The Dravidian atheists of Tamil Nadu were born to create a structural genocide of Tamils in Tamil Nadu. They are non-Tamils who ruled Tamils in the past till today. They had been very successful in the task of seeding the structural genocide of Tamils in Tamil soil. They are the dangerous pests here to destroy Tamils to the hilt. I have to stress a relevant information here. Atheism, materialism, and communism were the cynical concepts developed by the Illuminatis to transform this world of humans into the world of animals. The Indo-Aryans were everywhere in India, but only in Tamil Nadu there are more than 40,000 huge granite temples. This fact reflects Tamil's association with spirituality, which is unique in the world. Instead of finding the truth about Tamil spirituality, as I have done now, these black devils condemned and ridiculed the spirituality of Tamils, hiding behind the traditional sinners called Indo-Aryans. Tamil spirituality being built on rational and scientific foundation, it is an unforgivable insult to the Tamils of the past, present, and our great Siddhas. The Dravidian devils did all these to fool the Tamils so that they could continue to rule the Tamils. Coming back to our subject, Indran was the god of the Neithal land, as he is the weather god. That is the reason Indra festival was celebrated at Neithal lands, and we have copious evidence for it in ancient literature, including Salapati Haram. Even today, without knowing that it is Indra Vira, This festival is celebrated on the banks of the rivers on Chitra Purnami day in most places in Tamil Nadu. When I made part 6 Murugan and Indran video as part of the Vinayaga worship videos, I made a wild logical guess that Indran was the god of Netherland. That happens to be very much confirmed by my findings on the identity of Indra. Actually, Tolkapiam says Varanan as the god of the Netherland. Var or Varan means elephant in Tamil, deriving its name from that of the black mountain range called Var. For example, Varamullai, a Tamil word meaning forest in the mountain range, is what is deformed to Baramulla of Srinagar region. Hence, Varan means elephant and Varan An means possessor of elephant who is nothing but Indran. The An suffix indicates possession. Rivers get water from the clouds and clouds get their water vapor from the oceans. Hence, Netherlands are related to the clouds and Meghanathan, the lord of the clouds, also called Indran. Hence, Indran is naturally the god of the Netherland. That is the reason Indravila was celebrated in Kaveri Pumpattinam, a great port town of Tamil Nadu in the bygone era. The important point is that Indran was a human Siddha and Tamil's god. Among Tamil communities, Indra name is associated with Devendra Kula Velalar called Mallar and Pallar. They are the farming community of South Tamil Nadu. Though Indran was the god of Netherland, he is the weather god responsible for rains, which is the primary requirement for farming. Hence, the farming community of South Tamil Nadu should have been worshipping Indran as their god and considered themselves to be belonging to the Deva Indran clan. Indrajit being the Elam Tamil and the proximity of South Tamil Nadu to Lanka naturally connects Indran with the Mallar farming community who belongs to South Tamil Nadu. It is an interesting observation. We shall now discuss why Indran and Indrajit were shown as different personalities by the Indo-Aryans. Vedam was originally preached by Shiva to his disciples. As time went by, more and more stuff were added to it in each era, and the Aryans also added their stuff when they hijacked it. After Indran era, he was more popular a god than even Shiva because of the spectacular miracles that he performed. Hence, there are more than 250 references to Indra in Rig Vedam. Obviously, when Indo-Aryans hijacked Vedam from Tamils and edited and claimed that it was their stuff, they felt the dire need to dissociate Indran from his Tamil linkage. Indra was just a shortened name of Indrajit, but to show that they are different and to falsely explain the Indra syllable in Indrajit, the Indo-Aryans misspelled Indrajit as Indrajit, and with that act they created a new mythology lamely suggesting that Indra and Indrajit as two different individuals. We have already explained that their wordplay is foul and terribly foolish. We have established that both the names are of the same individual called Indrajit, the son of Ravana. Indra was known all over India and all over the world because of the spectacular miracles that he performed. Hence, it is no wonder that Hinayana Buddhist Bajaj caves of Maharashtra depicts Indra carvings. Among Ellora Jaina caves, one cave itself is called Indra Sabha with carvings of Indra mounted on an elephant. The Elephanta caves of Maharashtra has many Indra carvings alongside Shiva sculptures. Jainism and Buddhism evolved out of very ancient Asivakam of Tamils, and there is no wonder that Indra is worshipped by these sects. The fact that Indra is of Elam origin and he is being revered in both Jainism and Buddhism, it further substantiates the claim that both Jainism and Buddhism evolved out of southern Asivakam. Hinduism, which has a legacy of just about 1500 years, cannot have its claim on Indra. Indra was rooted to Hinduism from Asivakam of Tamils, just like other gods of Hinduism. Indra is a prominent god in many other countries like Indonesia. Indra is called Dionysus in Greek. Observe the syllable Dhyan in Dionysus. Indra was considered to be the symbol of Dhyanam, Dhyanam meaning meditation, and hence he was called Dionysus in Greek, just like Thiruvalluvar cites Indra only for the power of Dhyanam. There is one important and relevant point to be mentioned here. Rig Vedam not only mentions Indra, it also mentions that he was drinking Soma. It is generally believed that Indra drank it for its intoxicating effects. It might have intoxicating effect also, but the soma that he was drinking was related to his meditation and dhyanam. Soma is actually a potion which is a rich source of DMT. Dimethyltryptamine DMT is a chemical that is generated by pineal gland. Pineal gland is actually the third eye. To enhance their astral vision, the yogis were taking external source of DMT. The Soma drink which Indra drank was such a rich source of DMT. Egyptians used such drinks, and even today, Amazon shamans use this special drink and use it for their cosmic experience and predictions. These informations were with Tamils from the very ancient times, and Shiva, the Adinatha, is having the third eye. Tamil yogis were using Soma drinks and Kanja-like materials for enhancing their spiritual powers. Hence, Indra did not use Soma drink for its intoxicating effects, but for its effects on Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yogam describes 7 chakras. Kundalini is a Tamil word, and I would publish an exclusive video soon on Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga activates the 7 chakras linked to various glands of the body. Chakram is a Tamil word, and I would soon describe the etymology of the word in my video on Kundalini. Indra was the only Siddha to be called Sakkaran in history. As Indra successfully performed Kundalini Yoga, activating all the 7 chakras, he was called Sakkaran, that is Sakra. This is the etymological origin of the name Sakra and another title name of Indra. In Pali language, the vehicle of Hinayana Buddhism, Indra is called Saka, dropping the R sound. When we talk of carvings and sculptures, there is one set of carvings at Kalugumalai near Kovilpatti which is unique. Here we see some of the Tirthankarars depicted with Indran above them. To my knowledge, these carvings are unique and not found elsewhere. Of the hundreds of Tirthankarars carved alongside, why only some of them depicted with Indran above them? All these Tirthankarars depicted with Indran should have mastered Aindram skills like that of Indran. Aindram was not mastered by all the Siddhas. Many of them attained self-realization or contributed to various fields of knowledge, like Vishnu contributing astronomy and astrology, Murugan contributing to martial art, Agatyan contributing to music and language, etc. Only some Siddhas mastered Aindram, and those are the ones carved with Indran above, among the carvings at Kalugumalai. Only this shall explain the fact that among the hundreds of enlightened Siddhas, only a few are adorned with Indran above them. Aindram. There has been controversy regarding what Aindram was. There were Aindram schools in ancient India. A section of Tamil scholars were believing that Aindram referred to Panchangam, the Tamil almanac. Their conclusion is simply based on the fact that both Aindram and Panchangam were related to 5. Thiram, meaning skill, cannot stand for the rules of almanac, which is wrong. There is another section of scholars who think that Aindram meant a bunch of 5 philosophies. That is again wrong. As I had already mentioned, Aindram is made of 2 subwords, Aindu meaning 5 and Thiram meaning skill. Hence, associating philosophy with skill is not appropriate. I have established that both Indran and Andram evolved from Aindiram. There is no record that claims any philosophy that Indrajit or Indran developed. Hence, Aindiram should be related to the skills that Indran displayed, for which there is abundant proof. Aindiram refers to the 5 skills like Lehimam, Karimam, Animam, Mahimam, Vyabhyam, etc. The Aindiram schools taught these skills to the deserving candidates. Tibetan Buddhism has one legendary symbolic Lama who mastered these 5 skills, and hence he should have been called Panchan Lama. Buddhism extols Indran, and Buddhist monks do perform miracles like Tamil Siddhas. Buddhists believe that Indra possessed 5 Dhyani Buddhas, which should have meant 5 Dhyani Siddhis called Aindiram. Buddham and Siddham are synonymous terms. Hence, Aindiram is related to the miraculous skills of Siddhas only, rather than any bunch of 5 philosophies. A point to note is that only Tamil Siddhas graduated to Attama Siddhis, from the original Panchama Siddhis of Indran times. Tamil Buddhist Bodhidharma, who went to China, performed Attasiddhi miracles according to the Chinese themselves.